Oh, let's both of us drink water.
Yeah.
Ready? One, two, three.
Mm. Wow. Okay, I feel a little outdone. Okay. Okay.
That was a challenge.
Cool.
It's actually vodka, everyone.
It's gonna be a real different interview in part 2.
That's why you take the labels off. Ugh.
Hi, Shadowhunters fans. We are here with Harry Shum Jr. this week to talk about episode 19, Aku Sinta Kamu.
Aku Sinta Kamu.
Okay, I was close. I was close.
That was good. No, you got it. You hesitated, but you had it right.
I did. Okay. Don't second guess yourself, Lindsay. So this was a really, really great episode for Malik fans because it was like Malik Central. What was it like to sort of stroll down Malik memory lane in this episode?
You know what's funny is you read the script and it has those flashbacks, but you know I think it was for the fans it's a heart-wrenching one because you're building towards something, you're hoping that there's going to be some relief, and I don't think there is going to be more.
It was really heartbreaking because he seemed like he got his magic back, and you would think that he would be, you know, at least a little bit completed again, but he still felt so incomplete without Alec.
Yeah, I think you realize you asked for that thing that you want, and you think that that's the thing that you're missing, and then when you get it, you have to dig deeper and realize that that's actually not it.
Do you think he actually would have erased all of his memories of Alec if Asmodeus hadn't stopped him?
You want to go to some people that'll actually like give you some advice on like actually you don't want to do that. And I think Magnus was going to the people that he felt would possibly save him, even though he's stubborn and hard-headed in that sense. But going to Asmodeus and his dad actually giving him that advice, I think was something he wasn't expecting, because he would think like, yeah, why wouldn't you forget about the past? But I think that's something big on even fatherly advice, like don't erase the things that hurt you, because that does actually help you in the long run, even though we don't know exactly his motives quite yet, because there's still more to find out.
That's my next question. Is that like a genuine fatherly love? I just want to be there for my son, even if I had to manipulate him into it? Or
I think so. I really do believe that Asmodeus wanted what's best for his son. You know, I think he, regardless of the mistakes he made or whatever, I think he wanted to have that relationship kind of have that opportunity to rebuild it.
I will say personally, my like wish list was to see the Asmodeus Magnus early days, like back when they were together and like
slick back hair.
Yeah, and like I want that miniseries, just them like crossing the world.
I think because there's that past where he was doing his dirty work and kind of thinking Magnus was doing the right thing, and I think it would have been fun. I mean, they weren't like doing heists or anything like that, but I imagine that in my head.
Raising hell.
Yeah, in the 70s or something like that. 1870s.
Obviously. Well, now that sort of, it seems like Magnus has reconciled a little bit with his father, that hug at the end at least got me right here. Will that continue to be the case, especially if he finds out that he was the one who made Alec break up with him?
I'm not quite sure if they reconciled like their differences, or I think it was more he has nobody else, and the fact that he's the only one that is actually reaching out, because he feels like, well, no one's reaching out to me. I mean, within the series, it's like no, it's kind of sad, like no one's reaching out to him. No, although maybe no one knows quite yet, so he's keeping it to himself, but his father's the only one that's like, look, whether he's manipulating him or not, it's like, and I think that happens in life, is like whoever's that person that's there, that might be that rock in his sense, or the only person he can go back to. Either he can go be alone or be with family, and I think that's, to me, what happened there.
Well, now we have a behind the scenes clip from Freeform. It's about that Simon and Izzy super cute Superman scene. So let's check that out.
So the prop needle was pretty big. I did poke him at one point. Just kidding, I didn't.
How big? That's big.
I'm not really afraid of needles, thankfully. I'm very good at I like to watch it and be like, whoa, because I think it's kind of a weird thing.
I made sure that I was careful. I think I was actually putting the needle like towards like the pillow instead of him.
But then also it was rubber, so when she did try to do it, it would just bend.
Well, I don't hate Alberto, so he was lucky.
Imagine you're Superman, and Clary is Lois Lane.
The relationship between Isabel and Simon has been, a friendship. And now it's changing, to be a love interest.
You watch Superman. When did this world-shattering event happen?
Now we've known each other for 3 years. To finally start doing like the sizzy things is a little weird because it's been a slow burn for so long.
The hot girl doesn't see the geeky guy with glasses until the hot girl realizes that the geeky guy is totally awesome. If she just saw him for who he really is.
Walk with your demons.
I guess Lois just needed some time to see what was right in front of her.
This is something that the fans are really, excited for, and this is like the relationship that no one has seen yet. We are putting our hearts and our souls into this relationship.
You always go on about how great these superhero movies are, so I wanted to see what the fuss was about.
And we get to really have taken the time and care to build it in the best way and then kind of let it do its own thing.
This was such a shippery episode because we got like the Sissy and we got like the
Shippery?
shippery. Yeah,
Shippery,
I'm
that's
creating
a
that
new
word.
word, that's a new word,
It's
shippery.
contextualizing it.
Shippery.
So I'm asking everybody for the farewell to Shadowhunters portion of the interview. What was the first scene you filmed and what was the last scene you ever filmed for Shadowhunters?
First scene I filmed, it took me, actually I waited a whole day to film it, and so I didn't shoot it. And then the next day we finally got it in the end of the day, so I waited like good, I would say 24 hours straight.
Good things come to those who
Good
wait.
things come, yeah. And it was a scene where Magnus had all his gang, like his whole entourage sitting on the couch, and then he sees Alec walk by, and then I think the line was like, who is that? Like, who is that? And then walks off. And that was the first scene. The last scene, oh man. Oh, yes. It was a sort of a dance party.
Okay.
Yeah, so there's a little dance
So your
party.
specialty.
My specialty. I didn't do much of it. I just kind of like,
I've heard Matthew Daddario dances again this season and I'm looking for it. Because that scene was so amazing.
he's quite a dancer.
He's
He
good.
is. I hope he's continuing that.
I want to nominate him for Dancing with the Stars. Like, no joke.
Oh my gosh, he would be hilarious.
He would
His
hate me. He would
commentary
never.
would be amazing. That's what would win him, his commentary on his dancing.
Something a fan asked me to ask you, which I think is a really good question, which is what's one thing you've learned from playing Magnus that you've learned from his character?
What's interesting about this character is that it's this unique character that's been alive for so long, and to find that you can still go through the normal things no matter what age, the things that hurtful things and have insecurities and try and get over them no matter how confident you are. There's always going to be some insecurity, and I think that is actually a good thing because then it means you're alive, and then you can kind of deal with these things. And I've learned a lot from kind of his storyline where you don't, you almost can't get over, fully get over everything, because I think it's always going to live inside you. It's just knowing how to deal with it, and I think that's what we're seeing right now is how he's going to deal with it.
Definitely. Another fan question, which I thought was funny, which is how is your eyeliner so on point during your crying scenes?
Because I swear that stuff is like permanent. It takes me, like after I get off work, I'm the last one there. Like literally, like because I used to just scrub it off, and then people would tell me, it's like, yo,
Makeup wipes,
yeah,
and
you
then
gotta be like
moisturizer.
gentle with it, or you're gonna literally screw up your eyes. And I remember the first couple days, my eyes were red and just like dry, and then they would tell me like, you gotta like be chill. So I'd be like so delicate with it, and be like, oh my gosh, dude, is this really what's happening every night?
Welcome to our lives as girls.
Yes. So I mean, I totally get it. I totally get it, especially with my wife. Having her take out the makeup every day and washing her face is just like a process that I don't envy, and I also I feel you. I totally feel you.
And did you steal anything from set when you left?
I stole a lot of things. Enough to have a criminal record
Oh boy.
right
okay.
now. No, I didn't. I didn't steal anything. They handed me something.
Okay.
I don't know if I was supposed to keep it, because I think it was my last. Was it my last scene in the loft? Magnus's loft, and then they just handed me what do you call it? Not a statue.
Bust.
Bust. Yes.
Gotcha.
They handed me the bust that you see every day, and I think it's been around since season 1, and I was just carrying it around, and then I just ended up walking to the trailer, and then I ended up keeping it. So I mean, I don't know if they still want it back, but I got it signed. So
Oh, that's
they
cute.
didn't say anything throughout the process, and I had everyone else sign it, so someone should have told me that I shouldn't have kept it, but. Yeah, that's all I.
You get
Oh,
that through customs.
how did I get through? Oh, I drove back.
Oh, okay.
I drove back from Toronto.